So guess what, guys? Extra mediocre at best content.
Wow.
So on his channel, what he usually does is sorts himself pretty much yearly into...
Well, I mean, I've only been doing the channel for like, what, 2 years? So I've
you've
done it twice. But I was going to make it a yearly thing.
So today, I've done this before, but I've never done it on camera. So what we're going to do is going to sort ourselves into the Hogwarts houses. Now, one of the things that really does irritate me about Pottermore is that the house I least associate with 100% is Gryffindor.
Okay.
And I have gotten Gryffindor like the 3 times I've
You are
done it.
ginger. That's like 50% of the criteria.
So let's give it a go.
Discover your
Discover your house.
Start the source.
Will I just click discover my house? I'd quite
Very
like to start the
official,
ceremony,
isn't it?
please.
Right.
Moon or stars? Thing is though, because obviously I've always done this for my own enjoyment, I've never had to do this with commentary, so this might be quite weird.
Exciting.
I quite like a little bit wee bit of stargazing, so I'm
A
gonna
wee bit?
go
Only a wee
stars.
bit.
What I should do is
I
pick
need
the
you.
opposite. What the following I most like to study? Okay. People, centaurs, werewolves, vampires,
That's a great
Things.
picture.
trolls, ghosts. Well, I don't want to study ghosts because they're not real.
What's that mean? Because trolls are like. What's the logic behind that? Mer people are
Basically-
real. Yeah, trolls are werewolves are real.
So I don't like, because like Jack made a great video, like where he it's like he contacted his dead a dead relative who wasn't real, and it's like ghosts. It's one of those things. It's just like people can think exist, and therefore in fantasy when they exist, I don't really like them.
I agree.
Trolls would be boring because they're just things. Goblins would be boring. Vampires, not really a fan of the blood and stuff. Werewolves would be cool. For me, it's if werewolves weren't there, I'd pick centaurs. But I'm gonna study a wee bit of werewolves. That's it.
Of what you do. Okay.
Well, you got different
Yeah,
questions.
I say that. All the questions, so you can't just like tailor it to what you want.
Yeah.
Once every century, the flutterby bush produces. I don't need this in. I thought it did music, but it doesn't. The flutterby bush produces flowers that adapt their scent to attract the unwary. If it lured you, what would it? So, what do I like the smell of? That's what it's asking. Just fucking say that then. The sea, home, a crackling log, fresh parchment. Imagine being a factory. Imagine clicking fresh. What does fresh parchment
I don't
smell
know.
like? It's got to be a crackling log fire. I love the smell of a campfire.
Okay. What instrument is most pleasing to my ear? A piano, a drum, a violin, or a trumpet? Now, if anyone picks violin from this list, you are a fucking moron.
I agree.
Violins are the twattiest
You
instruments
play the violin, you're a
ever.
bit. You know.
I like drums, but they're not pleasing to the like a nice drum solo is like class, but
Yeah.
it's not pleasing to the ear. So it's probably a boring answer, but it's probably a piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you can't influence me.
What would you like to be known as in history? The great, the wise, the bold, the good. Oh, the good's pathetic. What do we know as the good? Fraser the good.
Good
He
old
wasn't great,
Fraser,
he wasn't
I
bad, he was good. And that and that. The bold.
Might as well be called mediocre.
Really. Wise or great? Fraser the wise. I feel like a wizard then. If someone's known as Fraser, would you listen more to a book by Fraser the Great or Fraser the Wise?
Fraser the Great is very egotistical.
Yeah.
I feel.
So's the Wise. I'm calling myself clever. I'm definitely not clever. But I'm gonna.
It's can you.
This is your.
Attending Hogwarts.
Oh.
I would take a cat with me. I love. Things
Okay.
like I feel like in the battle of cat and dog, if you are a cat person, you'd pick cat in this list. If you're a dog person, you'd pick
owl,
a toad or an
yeah.
owl. Likely, and if anyone picks toad, you're a bit weird.
Yeah.
I'd love a cat personally. So I can pick ginger cat, ugly cat, very ugly cat. What these things though, like a tabby cat is usually quite nice. In that picture, they've done the tabby dirty. And a black cat, who looks like like a vampire cat.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Actually.
I'm gonna go for a ginger cat.
On brand.
On brand.
I'm gonna go with wise. Which one do you find most difficult to? Oh, it's definitely that. I don't know what the others are, but it's definitely loneliness. Boredom.
That'd be my hunger.
Boredom literally creates a YouTube channel. It's just like- Hunger, I could deal with hunger. Being ignored, that's my life anyway. Or cold, just chuck a coat on.
For me, it'd be hunger.
For me, it's loneliness. I can't deal.
Well, what nightmare would frighten me the most? Standing on top of something very high and suddenly realising there are no hand or footholds, not any barrier to stop me falling. That would make me shit myself. Being forced to speak in such a silly voice that hardly anyone can understand you. And everyone else. That's just now. That's just right now. That's just me in my life.
That's just life.
Wake up to find neither your friends or your family. Anyway,
again, that's just...
In fact, that's even better. That'd be ideal for some of them. So, and I at the key on the dark, windowless room which you are locked in. That would be scary, but I've got to go with the first one, because I'm scared of heights anyway.
What's the first one again? Oh.
Did you know I'm really scared of spiral staircases?
What?
I'm going to put that on podcast notes.
Yeah. Meant to.
I've got a story.
Here we go, right. Toads, I'm scared. I have like an irrational fear of frogs and toads. Really? Because it's just the way they jump really freaks me out. They're so sudden, like you need to go away.
That's nearly as bad as my snail feel.
Owls, that's so good. Owls, it's got to be cats. It's got to be a cat.
They've done most of these cats dirty.
The only cat these two look alright.
Even the white cat looks a bit shit.
That looks mental.
A tabby is not. No. It's not that ugly.
I think I'd want a tabby, but not based on that. But I'd like a tabby cat.
Which the following would you most hate people to call you? Right. Okay. Ignorant, selfish, ordinary, cowardly. No, I don't mind being a coward, because sometimes being a coward is just a bit smart.
Yeah, it helps you. I get that. I see.
Ordinary. Ordinary's kind of one of those where it's kind of like, well, I don't want to be called ordinary, but sometimes I can just be a normal bloke, so sometimes I am a bit ordinary. Mm-hmm. Selfish or ignorant. I think I'd least like to be called ignorant, because sometimes it's good to be selfish.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Sometimes I've got to do things for me, whereas ignorant is just like you don't assess things well. You're like don't think things through. It's just a bit like ugh.
But not based on that, because that's fucking terrifying. Any power, the power to read, that's a dangerous power. I feel like that's a very dangerous power.
Everyone will probably just go, James, you're a cunt.
The power to change the past, I'm not getting involved in that. Invisibility.
Get a cloak.
Speak to animals, that would be fun. Oh, I'd love to speak to animals, actually. Strength. I think if you have superhuman strength, you get like people just use you for like, oh, can you just like move me calm? And like, oh, well, I can, but change your
shape.
Yeah, shape shifting is fair enough.
What would I rather be? Liked, trusted, feared, envied, or imitated?
There's another one.
Oh shit, is that? Praised. For me, I'm gonna go trust. I think because a lot of the other ones are quite like fickle.
Yes. No, I see that.
If someone trusts me, that's lovely.
That's big.
Yeah, quite like that.
Amazing. That's the one thing about Encanto when like Camilo would shapeshift. I was like, yeah, amazing. The best gift you can have. You and two friends need to cross a bridge guarded by a river troll who insists on fighting one of you before he let you all pass. Do you say, all right, I'll go round?
No worries, mate.
Fight. Attempt to confuse the troll into letting all three of you. Just all three should fight. Sinestro and Lots is... None of them is, all right, no worries, mate. No. I'll just go round. I'll find another way.
I think the problem is you need to cross the bridge.
That's the fairest one. All three of you...
All three's quite fair.
That's fair enough. That's not going to work, is it? You're all going to get killed.
That's quite Fraser.
And I'm not doing that. So... I think I would try and confuse him though.
You would.
I'm trying to think what's the best thing to do. It's probably one of those two, but a me thing is definitely like, right, hang on. Like
just your curve just your curve impression.
I would definitely try and like
it's just Fraser Oliver your way through.
You go. I think this is the last question. I think the last one's always a 50-50.
I'm gonna go right.
Heads or tails? Now, my brother would always say heads, so I'd always have to be tails.
If this is Gryffindor,
Really hope it is.
I'm gonna fucking flip my lid.
Really hope it is.
Come on, why? Fuck off! I'm not a fucking Gryffindor! I'm not!
Well, if it does it that many times, James, it has to be.
I'm not courageous, I'm not brave, I'm not that determined.
That's great. You're determined to not be a Gryffindor.
I'm...
So you are determined.
I'm literally...
That's great.
I am not a Gryffindor. I'm not.
Sorry, you literally picked coward, didn't you? Did you not literally pick coward? They've got that brave at.
Fuck off!
Fuck off!
Why is everyone a fucking Gryffindor?
Rigged. Like what? What?
Honestly.
I literally said I'd try and confuse.
That's gonna be your next Fraser Oliver video. It's just how to not get Gryffindor.
It might be because this is actually rigged.
Genuinely, like.
Fuck off. Fucking. What the?
Neither.
No, I'm upset now.
We are two non-Gryffindory people.